Breaking Bad, House of Cards, Game of Thrones, and The Office. Do these titles resonate with you? Perhaps you have enjoyed one of these popular series. If so, I would like to ask you, did you watch it as it aired once a week, or did you watch the entire series one summer? If you watched the entire series one summer, then you are a part of a growing number of people who enjoy TV binge watching. A survey conducted by Netflix defines binge viewing as watching 2 to 3 episodes in one go. However, many people watch more than this. The highest prevalence of marathon viewing is among the young, who most presumably have the most amount of free time on their hands and the least responsibility. Roughly 35% of 14 to 29-year-olds claim to binge watch at least once a week, compared to the 25% of 33 to 49-year-olds who report doing so. While you might enjoy watching your favorite shows, just as I do, perhaps we should rethink our obsession. As it turns out, binge watching is not without risks, and it's time for us to slow down on our binge watching habits. Today I will be telling you about the negative effects of TV binge watching and provide a solution to our binge watching habit. To begin, there are many negative effects of TV binge watching. For one, binge watching can affect your social life. In today's society, binge watching is taking up so many people's free time. Instead of doing something productive or fun, people are instead choosing to stay inside to catch up on the latest TV show. You can also become addicted. Once you are addicted, you begin to plan your other activities around your binge watching time. You say no to going out with friends and yes to staying inside to watch the next episode. Additionally, binge viewing can be a pretty isolating activity. A study conducted by MarketCast says that 56% of people who binge watch say they prefer to watch alone. This isolation may also take a toll on a person's social life. Second, binge watching can affect your health. An article in the Reader's Digest by Chelsea Stone says that adults who watch more than 3 hours of TV a day more than double their risk of premature death. She continues on to say that even if you exercise regularly, sitting for long periods of time can increase your risk of diabetes, heart disease, and even cancer. Binge watching can also affect your performance in a negative way. According to a December 2, 2015 article in the Washington Post by Ariana Eun-jin, young adults who have a low physical activity level but watch a lot of TV tended to have worse cognitive function as measured by standardized tests when they hit middle age. Binge watching can also affect your sleep. According to an April 21, 2014 article in Healthy Living by Amanda Chan, she says that 72% of people who binge watch said they stayed up later because of their screen time. Lack of sleep can lead to a weaker immune system, which can in turn lead to a person being sick. Not getting enough sleep not only can weaken your immune system, but it can also cause higher levels of stress as well. She also says that 87% of people who said they stayed up late to binge watch felt tired the next day. Being tired can lead to unproductivity and less of a drive to get things done, both of which also contribute to higher levels of stress as well. A third negative effect of TV binge watching is that you may not enjoy the show as much. If you are binge watching 24/7, the excitement goes away. Instead of anticipating what will happen next, all you do is click the next episode. According to Stop Binge Watching TV, an article by Jim Pagels, he says that cliffhangers and suspense need time to breathe. The episodes are placed the way they are for a reason, and if you binge watch your way through, it diminishes the way you are supposed to enjoy the show. I grew up watching Grey's Anatomy with my mom. We rooted for Derek and Meredith when they went through a rough patch. We supported Christina as she had worked in own troubles. We laughed and cried throughout it all. If you binge watch your way through, you don't get the same experience. Everything becomes a blur, and you are not as invested into the lives of the characters. A study conducted by Jeff Galick, PhD, and published in the Journal of Consumer Research says that the faster we consume media, like TV shows, the less we actually get out of them. We become bored with the shows and miss out on the subtle nuances that make it so great. It works the same way with other things too, like food. The first few bites of a dish are an exciting journey for your taste buds, but by the last few bites, you are just trying to finish what you started. To prevent these negative effects of TV binge watching from happening, there are steps that can be taken. For one, you can disable autoplay. When autoplay is on, you don't even have to move for the next episode to begin. By disabling this, it forces you to become aware of your binge watching habit, and you have to make the decision of whether or not to watch the next episode. Now, some people feel they must finish a series just because they started it. If you are not hooked on a show by the 5th or 6th episode, just quit watching it. This will then get it off your list of shows to watch. Another help might be to stop watching at a lull in the action rather than at the end of the show. TV shows typically end with a cliffhanger, making you want to continue on to the next episode. By stopping at a lull in the action, you not only help break your binge-watching habit, but by the next time you watch, something exciting will happen right away. If you absolutely cannot stop your binge-watching habit, at least make yourself earn each episode. Tell yourself you'll do a load of laundry or do the dishes. That way you'll at least feel like you are accomplishing something and still being able to watch the next episode. In conclusion, binge watching is a habit with many negative effects that needs to be broken by many, myself included. As I've shown, there are steps that can be taken. So now, instead of watching Breaking Bad, I'm going to be breaking my bad habit.
I love school. Mostly. Well, sometimes. Okay, so I might have a slight attention problem. I'm really good at this stuff, like Ken Bradbury. Social studies. I'm going crazy. I don't even see why I have to take it. My mom says that since I never shut up, I'm the most social kid she knows. And I can study if I wanna. I'm really good at this stuff. Oh, great. There's the bell. Like I need that. Stuck here in my worst class with a teacher who hates me. I know she does too, because she always calls on me. See, my problem is that there's no big kids who sit back here. In math, I can scrunch down behind Justin because he's like 6'12", and nobody ever sees me. But all we got here in social studies are a bunch of little twerps. Like me. What, ma'am? No, Mrs. Miller, I didn't raise my hand. I was just scratching my head. Honest. Because I was trying so hard to think of the answer. The question? Maybe that's what I was trying to think of. Pay attention? Yes, ma'am. Social studies is my favorite subject. I'm really good at this stuff. I think Mrs. Miller is the lumpiest teacher I've ever seen. She's sort of shaped like Africa if you flip it upside down. Or maybe a squash. I wonder if all people get that lumpy when they get old. Know what she's talking about? American heroes. What, ma'am? No, Mrs. Miller, I'm not daydreaming, I promise. I'm really good at this stuff. No, ma'am. No daydreaming. No. Private, I need those boats this instant. What? Well, tell them that I'm General Washington and I have to get across this river. Sergeant, what's the forecast? Oh no, did you check the Weather Channel? Shoot. Get extra fuel for the motors. Motor, the thing that makes the boat go. Okay, men, pull the starter. It's time to kick some British patootie. Anybody bring potato chips? Because that's a long way over there. Headlights, everybody duck! Just my luck, they've got 40 British sports cars lined up on the bank. Sergeant, call in the Air Force. Give those Brits a good thunking. What? No airplanes? What kind of continental army is this? Somebody hand me my cell phone. I've got to call Mom. What, ma'am? George Washington. See, I knew the answer. Oh, no, ma'am. I guess he didn't write the Gettysburg Address. He was busy crossing the Mississippi. Pay attention. Yes, ma'am. I'm really good at this stuff. Really good at this stuff. 77 years ago, our forefathers brought forth on this continental that when in the course of human events it becomes necessary by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed. Forever and ever, amen. Boy, great speech, Ulysses. Gosh, I never realized how short you were, General. And you're, still on your horse. Well, get out there and win this war. I heard on CNN this morning that the Spanish troops were marching on St. Louis. We can't have that now, can we, General? I mean, where would the Cardinals play? Look out, General, it's the French! They're climbing over the top of the Statue of Liberty. I better give another speech real quick and stop them. Conceived in liberty and dedicated to the prepositions and adjectives and dangling participles. Glory, glory, hallelujah, over the land of the free and the home of the brave. Yes, look at them run! Just look at them run! What, ma'am? My hand again? It was an itch. Honest, Abe. You see, we went camping last weekend and... Pay attention? Yes, ma'am. I just love hearing about Abraham Lincoln. Johnny Appleseed? You switched subjects while I was fighting the Civil War? I mean, scratching my skeeter bite? Sorry, ma'am. Yes, Mrs. Miller, I promise I'll pay attention this time. Really, I'm really good at this stuff. No, ma'am, no more daydreaming. I promise. No, ma'am. No more daydreaming. Hey! Don't step on that apple bush! What do you mean you didn't know it was an apple bush? Good grief, what boat you get off of? Look, you take these apple leaves and you plant them in the ground. And then the next day there's this little apple bush. And you pick the apples. Didn't you ever watch the Food Channel? It's an ancient Chinese plant that the first settlers brought over on the Titanic. Honest! And when the boat goes down at the end of the movie, all those little apple leaves come floating to the surface and they look around for a place to land. And then one apple leaf said to the other, "Hey, look! There's California, the place we ought to be." So they loaded up their truck and they sailed across the sea. That is too the truth. I ought to know, because I'm Johnny Appleseed and I'm the one who built the Titanic. Made out of wood and gopher bark. And we sailed for 40 days and 40 nights. And then I sent out this dove. And then he came back with an apple leaf in his mouth. And that's how I got my name. Gosh, don't you know nothing about history? What, ma'am? My hand again? It was excitement, pure excitement. You see, every time I hear the story of Johnny Appleseed, I just get so excited that Daniel Boone? But you were just talking about... Sorry, ma'am, it must have been the apples. Yes, ma'am, I promise I'll pay attention this time, really. No, ma'am, no more daydreaming, I promise. No more daydreaming. Alright, men, gather around. I want y'all to pay attention. This here's Al, and this is Mo. They'll be your tour guides, and they're in charge of volleyball. Swimming pool's right over there, and the jacuzzi's just through that door. Alright, man, hurry up. We only got this resort ran for 3 days, then we move on to London for the World Series. What? What army? They're attacking us now? Great. Just when the ping pong tournament's about to start. Quick, hand me that paddle. Alright, men. When I say go, start serving those ping pong balls over the net. That'll stop them. Ready? 1, 2... What, ma'am? Oh, I did it again, didn't I? Huh? Test? How can we have a test over this stuff when we haven't even talked about it in class? Mrs. Miller, I'm not ready for this test. 100 questions? I don't even know 100 things. Heck, I know all about American heroes anyways. This ought to be easy. Name the father of our country. Bill Gates. Shoot, I thought this was going to be hard. Name the commanding general in World War II. Got it, General Motors. Who invented penicillin? Easy, Dr. Seuss. Man, I can't believe you guys don't know this. I'm really good at this stuff.